All right, you're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Welcome to my daily review. My disclaimer is this is for my amusement only. And you can see this market has zero direction, hasn't gone anywhere. You can just draw a line right through 11,000 here. And it gets above it for a little bit, then it goes below it for a little bit. It did retest the lows here. You know, the level's about, 12,000 to 10,000. You know, if the shorts could push it below this 10,000 level, that would be impressive. We'll see if they can do that. I'm not so sure they can. Why haven't they done it? They better do it pretty soon. The bulls, I mean, it's hard to see, the bulls really pushing it, through the upside 12,000 too. But if it remains, in this trade range, this, obvious trade range, then if we just are stock pickers. We pick the stocks that are doing well, that are independent of the index. I don't trade the index. Anyway, that's the Nasdaq. The S&P 500 is, the same thing. It's just been a little longer, and it's been trading right around this 4,000 level. Just draw a line right through 4,000. It gets above it for a little bit. It trades above it, then trades below it, then trades above it. And I've drawn this many times, about 4,200 to 3,800. And if they could, if the shorts could take it below that 38, then great. But, they better do it pretty soon. It's a directionless market. It's just a sideways market, which is fine. It's a stock picker's market, and I like picking stocks. Today, I'm just going to go through the stocks on MC stock charts that we've had on our leader list for a while. So I'm revealing a little secrets, which ones we like, which ones I buy and trade. And some of them are actually set up, in nearby areas, and others are, really extended and making new highs, and that's what you want. This is CROX, obviously. This one broke out and then pulled back to the 50 for the first time, which was a gift at 110 here. It ran up to like 143 after earnings, and then pulled back to like 2 days later to like 118. And to me, this is doing the same thing as it did before earnings, just making this little bull wedge type pattern. It's pinching in here. It's starting to tighten up. This thing looks really good to me. And it's got the fundamentals, which is, if any stock that's going to tread water in a directionless market, it's going to need some fundamentals, for a longer term to sustain their longer term uptrend. And I'm not a fool. I know if the market goes down, these stocks are going to go down with them as well. Maybe not as much, maybe more so. But when the market, the market sells off, the Nasdaq below 10,000, these stocks are going to get hit too. They're not impervious to, the downtrend. ALF, this is another one that I like. Stair stepper stock, broke out, went flat, broke out, went flat, broke out, and is kind of flattening out. Here it is, trending a little higher along with its 10 EMA, and just finding support there, which is what you want as a trend trader. That's really what I want. That's another one of our top stocks here. ALGM is another one. Those of you who've been with me for a while, we had this on our watch list here as it pulled back to the 21, and then it really took off here. And we were fortunate that it's just forming a little shelf here along its 10 EMA, and that's another one that is one of our top stocks. First Solar has been with us for a long time. I gotta believe we got into it last summer. I don't know, around 130. I'd have to look again, but this thing formed a nice little flat base and blasted out of it today. Almost 16% move with 522% above average daily volume. That's not to be ignored, Dan. It's one of the few solar stocks that's doing well. These are like lone wolves. Like I say, they're trading independently of the index. And I'm not foolish enough to think that they're going to continue doing this if the index decides that it wants to sell off. This is a Lattice Semiconductor, a fabless stock. It's fabulous. Anyway, it broke out of this base. We had this on our watch list here, and it got really extended above its 10 EMA, and it's pulled back nicely here to its 21. Right there, it was 10% above its 10 EMA. Then it pulled back to the 21, and the last 3 days had a nice little move higher. That's what you want to see, stocks getting supported at their moving averages, irregardless of, how the Nasdaq or the index wants to perform. This is Iridium. Hasn't been with us that long, but it was, I think, after this breakout, and it pulled back to the 50 for the first time, just like CROX, and that was a gift, and it blasted higher. and now pull back to the 21 earlier this week, and the last two sessions have responded nicely, and that's what you want to see, stocks being supported at moving averages. PI Impinj. This one, it's been with us for a while as well. This is another fabulous stock, like LSCC. I know this thing really frustrated me because it was trading. I think we got into it in this area here after this breakout, and then it started trading kind of wide and loose. And right now it's just going sideways. But it pulled back to its 50 and got support, and really made a nice move. And then today just had an inside day candle, so that thing's doing nothing wrong. NVO, this is another one like CROX and like IRDM. After this big breakout, it pulled back to the 50 for the first time and responded well. It's forming this little flat base pattern here, and this is actually on our watch list here for tomorrow. As I like this setup here. It's getting support at the 21 here, a nice flat base, a really strong stock. If you just take a look at the monthly, I mean, even a kindergartner, you would know that, hey, just buy it here and let it go to here, lower left to upper right. It's been a beast. It's got a big market cap. This is not one of those smaller stocks, 325 billion, but they've got a couple new drugs that people like. So anyway, we have to have some material and defense type stocks. This is a steel producer, Steel Dynamics. It's our only steel stock, and we've had it for quite a while on our leader list, and it's been responding well. You can see the breakout here. The first pullback to the 50 was supported, and this is before the Nasdaq really got going in January, and now it pulled back recently down to the 21 and has been supported there in the last 3 days. Really moved higher, and it looks like it wants to take out that old high of 132.50. So that's another one of our leaders. And this one made another new high today. I mean, what's not to like? Definite undercut and rally here. This went down on the TOST weak earnings report, and then it fell in sympathy, and then it reported yesterday, I believe, and then just ripped higher, 13%, 300% above average daily volume. So that's not to be ignored either. A nice follow-up today with a nice 7% move. So we look for that one to continue to make new highs. They had a really strong earnings report, and then they're taking market share, obviously. TDW, this is just one of our oil and gas stocks. I highlight oil and gas just daily. This one had a nice base, just ran higher and pulled back to the 21 and responded well. I think this is earnings. I missed earnings. Had an inside day today, but it's doing well. It's just one that it's just doing well. Not much to say about that one. ACLS, another one that I really like for obvious reasons. It broke out here, this cup with handle type pattern, just screamed higher. And then when it pulled back, people thought, oh, it's going to pull back to the 50, back to 100 area, but nope, it just came back to the 21. And the last 3 sessions has been made a real strong move. And so made another new high today. We had like 5 stocks here making new highs today. So definitely doing well here. TMDX, this is one that we added recently because of this breakout here. Yeah, around, I don't know, 76 or something, but it keeps making new highs, and that's what you want. Today, it was just within a hair of making another new high. So we'll see what it does here in the upcoming days and weeks ahead. URI, another stock that we've had for quite a while. And this one, commercial services leasing stock, you got to look at the weekly on this one. This is a thing of beauty, as it just traded tight in here for like 8 weeks, and then right before earnings just blasted out of this base and returned. It traded down to the 21, found support, made another new high today. So that's another one of our stocks making new highs. PERI Networks, another one that we've had for quite a while, and this one just kind of grinds higher. It's quiet mover. Nobody talks about it. It's under the radar, which is the way we like it. Just trending higher. Shh, don't tell anyone. Let me see. We got another one here. AEHR, another semiconductor. I'm kind of heavy on the semis. This is an equipment, semiconductor equipment stock with the automotive. This one had a secondary offering, pull back below the 20. And again, once again, 21, I should say. Once again, people thought, oh man, secondary offering, this one's doomed. Thought it was going to pull back to the 50, but nope, had other ideas. The last 3 days, it ran higher, up nearly 8% with higher volume today. So nothing wrong with that stock. AXON, there's another one we've had for a while. This shakeout here really kind of spooked us because it looks like a glitch. But yeah, it didn't do anything wrong. There was no news that we could find, and we stuck with it. This is why you got to remain flexible. Just don't sell because it goes below the 50. Just be patient. And this one rewarded investors today. It was up more than 10% with above 205% above average daily volume. So that will not be ignored, Dan, either. SMCI, kind of happy with the way I handled this one. We had it last summer here around 55. It was one of our top stocks for months and months and months since like last July. But we sold it here. I sold it here. I shouldn't say we. I sold it as it sliced its 50 on that short report. And they didn't respond at all. It really went down to what, 69. But when it ran through here back at about 85, it got back in you could see the big blue daily volume bar. So the market's telling you the short report was full of BS, and because investors, they vote with their pocketbook and they're putting money to work here. It came down. This is a beautiful pullback here within the handle. Once again, support at the 21, just blasted higher. We had it on our watch list several times recently, and that's why you have to remain flexible. Don't just be hard and fast like this thing's dead or this thing's going to the moon, whatever. I mean, they're just stocks. I don't know you own them. One thing about this one is that it is a late stage base. You can see the base after base after base after base. So this is a fourth stage base. So it is late stage. So that is something to be concerned about. But I'm still holding this, one of my larger positions. And that's why you must remain flexible. And this is Weatherford, another oil and gas stock. I mean, it's doing nothing wrong. We've had this one for a while as well, and it just comes back to the 21, gets support, back to the 21, gets support, back to the 21. So that's what, a trend trader like me, that's the kind of stock that you want to have. Anyway, that's it for mcstockcharts.com. We're doing well, not to brag or anything. I hate braggarts because they're compensating for other flaws, but we're just doing well. It's been a blessing. And we're going to remain vigilant and flexible and open-minded and never give up.